Hi, welcome. Let's do a quick 30-ish minute blend with some hips, get the body moving. We're going to start standing at the top of the mat, establishing breath and just getting settled in. So take a deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth, empty and release your exhale. Do that again, maybe taking your shoulders up with you. Peel them back, let them go. And sealing your lips together and starting to invite the breath to move in and out through your nose only. Ujjayi makes a little bit of sound in the back of the throat. And you start to engage Uddiyana Bandha, so across the hip bones, drawing in firmly, and then drawing upward and inward from the Kegel or perineal muscles, creating a lock in the pelvic floor. Foundations are breath, those bandhas, and then I prefer a foundation of intention. So taking a moment to remind yourself first, gratitude and acknowledgement of showing up this day on your mat. And then maybe setting a deeper, more meaningful intention for you to remind yourself what brings you to this practice. Good. Releasing your arms to your sides, letting your eyes open, drishti, the last of the foundations. Ujjayi breath swirling in the back of the throat, making a little sound. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead, gaze up at your hands. Exhale, hinge from your hips, unlock your knees. Good. Inhale, come up halfway, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank, lean in to lower down, chaturanga. You can always use your knees. Inhale to draw forward and through, tops of feet for up dog, or cobra is pelvis down. Exhale, press your hips up and back, down dog. Good. I'm going to do a little mat adjustment rather than starting over again, right? Life is imperfect and messy, and I am imperfect and messy too. Let your head hang, take a breath or two. Good. Empty your exhale, rise to your toes, walk, step, float, top of the mat. Inhale, lift up halfway, soft knees, long spine. Exhale, fold in, gazes at your shins. Belly is zipped. Inhale, sweep your arms up, gaze up at your hands. Exhale, palms to heart center, release the arms, begin again. Inhale, arms up, breath up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant hands, step back, lean into lower down, knees are welcome. Keep those shoulders, heads lifted. Inhale to up dog or cobra, heart open. Exhale, strong legs, flip over those toes, soft knees, broad shoulders. Good. Empty the exhale, rise to the toes, one more. This is starting to warm the body. Inhale, lengthen. Take it however you need to. Exhale, fold. Your body, your practice. Inhale, rise, sweep up, gaze up at your hands. Exhale, palms through heart center. Release the arms. One more. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant hands, step back, lean in, lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. You can always take those as a plank. Exhale, down dog. So instead of taking the chaturanga, if you're babying shoulders or you just don't have the strength today or yet, take a plank instead. Empty your exhale, top of the mat, walk, step, or float. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold and empty, soften those knees. Root down through the heels. Inhale, rise to standing. Sweep your arms up, gaze up at your hands. Exhale, palms through the heart. Bend your knees, drop your seat. Inhale, sweep the arms up, chair pose. Let's take a couple breaths here, building some heat in the body. Hug your knees actively together. Put your weight back into your heels. You're waking up your booty, right? Inhaling and exhaling, relaxing your shoulders. Gaze is up. Let yourself start to get uncomfortable. We call it the edge. Exhale, fold forward, hinge from the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant hands, step back, lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog cobra, shoulders back. Exhale, hips back, right foot right away, step it forward. Inhale, sweep your arms up, crescent warrior, which is heel up, or heel down, warrior one, look up. Good. Exhale, drop hands, taking the first one a little slower. Inhale. Hips back, other side. Right foot down, left foot forward. Warrior one. Gaze up. Exhale, drop hands. Step back. Lower chaturanga or go right to the down dog. Heart rate should be starting to come up a little bit. You can hear it in my voice. It's hard to breathe and talk. Take the weight out of the hands. Push your booty back. Good. Empty the exhale. Rise to the toes. Walk, step, float. Top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Root down. Inhale, rise. Oh, I forgot my chair. Chair. Good. Back into chair pose. Put your weight in your heels. Good. I'm so glad I'm being so messy and imperfect for you. Good. 2 more breaths. Sit in those heels. Let that those legs start to wake up. Let the heat start to build. Good. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step back. Lower chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale, hips back. Right foot step. Empty your breath. Inhale, arms up. Look up. Exhale, drop the hand. Try not to swipe the foot. Pick it up, step it back. Inhale. Exhale. Left foot forward. This is feeling fast. Slow it down. Inhale. Gaze up at your hands. Exhale. Drop your hands. Step back. Inhale. Up dog. Woo, we always forget that breath. Exhale. Down dog. Most of us skip it there. All right. Sun B's meant to start to boil the blood. How's that going for you? That was my foot on my mat. You're hearing weird sounds. Broad shoulders, let the heart melt forward, hips come back, starting to feel warm. Maybe you try to jump, let it be clumsy. Try to get your booty up, jump it up to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, drop your seat, chair, Utkatasana. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold. One more B. Inhale. Exhale, my breath sounding lame too. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale, hips back, right foot, warrior one or crescent warrior. Inhale, sweep the arms up, gaze up. Exhale, drop hands, step back, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, hips back, left foot. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold or drop your hands, step back, lower down. There's no chaturanga police, though I would like to be a chaturanga police. Only not in that you're doing them, but that you're doing them in a way that honors your body. Good. Top of the mat. Walk, step, float. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold and empty. Bend your knees, drop your seat, chair pose, Utkatasana. Pull your pants up if you're just sliding down too. Put your weight in your heels. Good. Let's take a gentleman's pose. I'm going to turn my body, but you don't need to. Okay. Put your weight into your right leg, cross your left ankle over, and then hike your left butt cheek up, suck your left hip back into front row. I have to edit that. Good. Plug your left hip back into the joint. Put your weight back into your right heel. Shoulders are away from your ears. You want to feel this in your left butt cheek. Remember, we're here for sensation. You're here to learn how to feel. I've been listening to Gabor Mate's Myth of the Normal, and it's such a refreshing reminder. Right leg is on fire. Let it be on fire. That normal is actually all the things we actually are, as opposed to some elusive thing we're trying to get to. Back to chair. Fill those legs with heat. Switch sides. Left leg down, right crosses over, right butt cheek up. Put your weight back into your right heel. Sorry, your right hip. Feel it in your right butt cheek. Tendencies to get all dipsy daisy here and like you're trying to find the stretch. Pull your hip up, plug it back. Little curve in the low back. I'll show you from the side view. Left butt cheek should start to be pretty chatty. Right, there are cozy, comfy, flowery yoga teachers. I'm not here for that. That's not my style. I want you to feel into your power, your discomfort. I want you to be with the discomfort of the now, because that's what we're reteaching our nervous systems to do. We didn't necessarily have agency and luxury to do that as children. Chair pose. Squeeze those legs. Right? Normal is the myth, or at least how we define it is the myth. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step back to plank. Pause. You can always put your knees down. Booty up a little bit, heart forward a little bit, forearms hug. 3 breaths. Exhale to chaturanga or to down dog. Hips back through a half vinyasa, right foot forward, warrior 2. Heel bisects arch, take your arms to a T. Gaze off your right hand. You might even flip a palm, flip both palms, play with it. Keep it into that right leg, let the heat start to build there. You can hug in, you can pull apart. Figure out which one makes you feel more powerful. Notice tendency to compare your body, even to mine. Right? I have too much mobility. I'm constantly working to find more structure, more strength. You start to just tap in. Let your right thigh be on fire. Let your arms feel like they're going to fall off. Inhale, reverse. Good. I actually hate this pose, so if you hate it, it's okay. Me too. Just keep your booty back. Good. Extended side angle, right forearm and right thigh. Left arm sweeps over the ear. I forgot to grab my blocks this morning, but if you want a block, put it on the floor, inside or outside your ankle. Keep breathing. Keep the bandhas engaged. How many times have we tried to package ourselves up into what we believe to be normal? Right? We do it in our postures, we do it in our lives, we mask. You had to do it in your family of origin. Goddess pose, rise up. Let's get the heat come into the legs. Mm-hmm. Feel your breath. Get into those legs. Don't be fiery. We're only here for 30 minutes max if you make it all the way through. Already halfway through. Good. Left side, warrior 2. So we either need to reclaim normal and take away the BS out of it so that it's not about this idea of trying to make yourself palatable for the world, or need to reclaim normal the way words have been reclaimed in all of our cultures, right? In all of the pockets of otherness. One more breath on that left leg. Good, staying on the left side. So back into the mat, drop your hands. Plank, 3 breaths. Good, chaturanga if you want it. You don't have to. Down dog. Take a second. Soften your knees, broaden your shoulders, gather your breath. Good, left foot stepping forward, stand the ball of the back foot or put your back knee down. Hug the midline, inhale, rise up, crescent warrior. Plug the left hip back into the joint. We hold for a few breaths. Good, notice if you're low in your crotch, lift up out of it. Anchor down through the rib cage. We're gonna add the twist on, lots of ways to twist. You can put your hand inside your foot, or maybe you go elbow outside the knee. You can keep your back knee down. Push the palms together, squeeze the shoulder blades onto the back. Hug your back big toe to the floor. Try to rise away from that left thigh. Maybe the right arm reaches down and the left arm reaches up. Maybe the arm sweeps over the air. You can move this intensity up or down as you need. One more breath, lean back. Good, inhale, back up to crescent. Oh, that should suck, it sucks. Good. Open back up to goddess pose, heels in, toes out. Good. Maybe you put your forearms on your thighs, get a little inner thigh stretch. I like to wiggle woggle. That's a technical term. Right? My daughter, they talk a lot about what's weird, but I think that in many ways, at least in the world my daughter's in, one more breath. Good. Wide angle forward fold. I know you want it. I want it too. Her tweendom. The weird is shifted a little bit. It's not as detrimental. It's almost something that people are claiming in this individuation that we're working through in the world. Which I think is a response to this BS of normal. Maybe your shoulders are your fingers are interlaced for a shoulder opener. Take one more breath. Good. Drop your hands. Inhale, come up halfway. Root down through the heels. Back into goddess to rise. Boop. I like sound effects. Good. Pivot and turn your hips forward to crescent warrior on the right side. So now your hips are back square to the top edge of your mat. Your right hip is plugged back. You're lifting through the sides of the waist. Good. Find that for a few breaths. Good. Check in with the rib cage pulled down. Lift the back body. You're not trying to be a square peg in a round hole. You're trying to figure out what shape you are, honor it, and push up against the edges of it. Good. Left elbow, right knee, or hand on the floor inside the foot. All good versions. Knee could be down. Zip that belly up. It's 30 minutes-ish, not even, probably. Plug that right hip back. Lean the upper body back. All kinds of ways to intensify, to deepen. All kinds of ways to go a little less today. Honor what you're in. Honor today. Lean back, lean back, lean back, lean back. Hold that back leg nice and strong. Good. Drop your hands to the floor. Step back to plank. Lower chaturanga if you're clearing it out. If you want to go to the down dog, all is well. Hips back. Good. Breathe. Good. Come forward to plank. Maybe lower down to chaturanga. Maybe you stay in plank. Come back up to plank. Good. Right hand down. Left arm up. Side plank. Right knee can go down. Right leg can stay extended. Left foot can step in front. Lots of ways here. Think about your right bicep. Rotate that right bicep open to the right. You should be sweating. Ooh, I hate that word should. I'm sorry. It's a crap word. Good. Drop your left hand. Switch sides. Switch sides. Find your plank. Your way. Arm over the ear. What Gabor Mate is saying is what's normal is to be suffering in this really toxic environment, that evolution has not caught up with the way the world is working now. We are not set up for this. So all these adaptations, well, I didn't stay very long. Take one more breath. Good. Drop your hand. Lower chaturanga or don't. Inhale. Do inhale. Exhale. Down dog. Awesome, you guys. Breathe. Good. Step your right leg or extend your right leg up to the sky. Hug your right knee into your nose. Maybe drop it towards your thumbs. Maybe pull it back up. Maybe drop it towards your thumbs. Maybe pull it back up. Maybe say screw all of this. Step your right foot up. Drop your left knee. We're going to go pigeon. Okay. I'm going to reorient myself off my mat so you can see. Okay. Walk your right foot over to the left. Drop your knee and ankle to the floor. Some of us were tight. Our heel's going to be back closer to your crotch, your hips. You don't like the crotch word. Some of us are going to work that right foot forward more because we're pretty open. Now I'm going to go sideways because there's a lot to do here. Good. Curl the back toes under and walk the back knee to the to the right a little bit. And squeeze and lift away from the floor. And push that right hip out a little bit and pull and plug the right hip back into the joint. It's either going to lift or it's just going to suck back. Then walk your left leg back a little bit more. Do that again. Hug and lift. Attitude on the right hip. Plug it back. Good. Walk the left leg back a little. Breathe. And then maybe dropping down towards those forearms. What Gabor Mate is saying is that which I think is so true, right? Especially those of us who are sensitives by nature or empaths, is that what's actually toxic is not the human being, not us, not the adaptations, not the ways that we're suffering with anxiety, depression, isolation, loneliness, but that the soup we're swimming in is toxic. So that means we can give ourselves some more grace, not to ignore our own process or healing. 3 more breaths. Right? Not to absolve you of responsibility. Good. Inhale, come on up. If you want a quad stretch, you can try to bend the back knee and reach for the foot. If there's a hell no happening, honor that and come out, come to cat cow instead. We'll take 2 breaths for those of us in the quad stretch. No worries if you're not there. Try not to get a Charlie horse. Squeeze and lift, so no crashes on the floor. It's a general rule. Good, let it go. Woo, come on out. You can chaturanga, you can down dog. If you want more heat and you're always looking for a chaturanga, take one. If you don't, you don't. No worries, cat cow's lovely. Good, left side, left leg up to the sky first. Hug it in. Drop it towards your thumbs. Pull it back in. Drop it toward your thumbs. You don't have to do any of this. You can put your back knee down. Pull it in. Thumbs. One more. Step it up. Boop. Drop your knee and ankle. Right, there's no normal here either. So walk your right foot to the right, your toes are tucked. Okay, that's gonna make sure that you're not turned open with your right hip. Now hold on to the front foot, that's your left foot here. Squeeze and lift away from the floor. Push the left hip out, plug the left hip back, and then walk the right leg back a little bit more. And do it again, squeeze and lift. Out with the left hip, plug back with the left hip, and then maybe walk the right leg back. Sorry I didn't say it on the other side. I don't want the primary sensation to be on the back hip. We want it to be on the front hip. Okay, most of us tend to want to reach with that right leg so much to get a feeling there. We're not sensation seeking in this space necessarily, right? It's not about everything feeling like a stretch. You can keep your toes curled under or you can relax your back leg. Both are fine. Just try to stay away from dumping into one side or the other. Now breathe. Right? Maybe we're asking the wrong question is really the thing. It's not about what's wrong with you. It's partly about what happened to you. And it's definitely also what's out of balance in our world. Right? The things that happen to you, whether you call it trauma or not, aren't even really the thing. It's what happened inside of you. And we're learning to be with our pain and our discomfort and our edge in this space. You're learning to be present now so that we can be present with those patterns that still exist within your nervous system. All of us. No one is free of that. People who say that they haven't experienced trauma maybe just have a definition that's a little more limited. This world is hard. The ways that you've learned to adapt or what you needed at the time. It's just the question, do you need it still? 2 more breaths. This breath practice of calling yourself back in is a powerful tool. Inhale, come up. If you're taking the quad stretch, squeeze and lift, come a little away from the floor again. Bend that back knee and reach back for the quad if you can, or the foot if you can, to stretch the quad. The quad is the muscle between the hip and the knee. Breathe, don't collapse into the floor, please. Your groins do not appreciate that. Good. Let it go. We'll all meet. Ugh. On the back. Ugh. On the back. So maybe jump through to seated, find your way through to seated. Lie down on your back. Roll your shoulders up. Let's take a little back bend. Press your hips up. If you want to stay in the field of working, you can lift and lower your hips. You can even squeeze a block. You might lift your toes like I am. That's going to activate hamstrings and glutes. If you want to hold the bridge because that feels better for you, this is your practice, your body. Stay with your breath. Try not to move on to your day yet. Stay here. Be here now. Got a few more breaths in your bridge wherever you are. I'm going to hold a few breaths at the end here for me. Push down through your heels. Pubic bone is not higher than everything else, so keep a little bit softness in the groins. Good. Drop your hips to the floor. Hug your knees into your chest. If there's any last thing you need, take it. I'm going to take a spinal twist, letting the knees fall right, the gaze turn left. Coming back through center, switching sides. If it's too much for your neck to look all the way to the right, just look up. Come back through center. If you're near a wall, I love legs up the wall. You could also take a traditional shavasana, letting your legs extend as long as the mat, arms rest at your sides, palms face up. I encourage you to at least take a minute in shavasana. If you want longer and you have the time for it, take longer. Just pause me, pause us, or ignore me as I wrap things up. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Open your mouth, empty, and release your exhale. Find rest. Before you begin to move, see that you can sense into the now. Feel the floor beneath you, the temperature, any noises, or the movement of the breath. From this anchor in the now, start to wiggle fingers and toes, trying to stay connected right here, right now, this body, this moment, this version of messy and imperfect normal. Extending your arms all the way over your head, letting your legs come together, reaching and extending, melting and softening. Hugging the knees in, easing over onto either side. Taking a moment, and then gently lifting yourself up to seated. We close with the palms at the heart, just as we started. Coming back into your own intention, or maybe one you're going to carry with you. Maybe this reminder to challenge this concept of normal. Give yourself grace and see the wisdom of your own way of adapting to the world. We'll continue to challenge ourselves to grow, to heal, to find more moments in the now. Thank you for showing up on your mat. Thank you for showing up in this space. Om Shanti. Peace be with you. Thanks, everybody. See you next time. Please comment below and let me know what you want to see. If you want longer, shorter, more this, more that, I'm so open to making this channel work for you. I appreciate you. Go be a light wherever you show up in the world.